going to talk about child abuse. Our children are a gift from God. And when we're given a gift, you must treasure that gift. We are all a gift to the world because without us, the world cannot exist. And God makes sure that nothing happens to us. So it is our responsibility to protect our children from child abuse. Now, child abuse can be verbal abuse, emotional abuse, and sexual abuse. Parents, we were once children and we all made mistakes. But the words we say to our children matters a lot. I know children can get to us. They can hit you on the right spot. And out of anger, you say words to them. Those are emotional and verbal abuse. You don't know how it breaks your child when you say certain things to them. Like, you're an idiot. You're nobody. You're always disgracing me. No. Those things hurt those children. They go back in their quiet time and they play those words in their head. And it makes them withdrawn. It makes them feel they are not good. So that part is very important. We call our children, you are a star, you are a champion, you are a leader. So when they make those mistakes, you can tell them, oh, leaders do not do it that way. They do it this way. Let's encourage them with our words than damage our children with the words we say to them out of anger. Now let's go into sexual abuse. You'll be amazed that most of your kids are abused. But you have neglected them. They are red flags. Sometimes we leave our children, we take them out, or we leave them out to play without looking out for them. Most of our children are abused by relatives that come to our house, by the staff we live with them. I know we all have to hustle and put food on the table. But what's the point of your hustle if your child is being lost in abuse? Relations come to the house and you are out there. And they tell your children, oh, come and sit on my lap, mostly the girls. You don't know what they do when you're not there. And after that, they might threaten your children. If you tell mommy and daddy, I will hurt you. Now these children keep it to themselves and it goes on all the time. And that child is wrong. Most times we say, this child is too quiet, I don't understand this child. Always keep it to herself, something is wrong somewhere. Why don't you investigate and find out what's going on? Don't be too busy for your children. Talk to them. Your children know more than you think. There was a time I had a class with the JSS 123 about sexual abuse, having boundaries. And I told the JSS 3 children to ask their parents, what did you see in my mom that made you marry her? And what did you see in my dad that made you say yes? In all the people you had relationships with. Most of your children were scared to ask you because they don't have that communication with their parents. Who should they learn that from? From you. Because if they don't learn that from you, they can get it from anywhere. Sometimes you ask your child, what do you see in this girl? Sometimes they don't have a reason. But when we start talking about it from childhood, only one boy in JSS 3 who is graduating today actually asked his dad what he saw in his mom. And the dad told him, he was so proud to share with me, that he will look out for those qualities when he grows up, when he starts having relationships. Start having that communication, that talk with your children. They're not too small. Your children knows what their private parts are. Their lips is their private part. Nobody's allowed to kiss their lips. Not all the time. It gets to a point where you start telling the children, no, no, no. Their chest is their private part. No one is allowed to touch them. But sometimes relations come to the house. They start playing with them, but you just feel, oh, no, it has started that way. And the children, because you don't tell them, they don't know it is wrong. They feel it's Is it not uncle? Is it not auntie? And another thing, you all pay attention on the girl child. What about the boy child? You neglect the boy, feeling, oh, boy. But they are also abused. I had a situation in one of the schools I teach, etiquette. And a boy actually opened up to me, he was in grade 4, that his uncle, his mom's relation who lives with them, actually abuses him at home, plays with him at night. And he cried out to me, he could not tell his parents because they don't give him that communication. They don't allow him come. And when I called the mom, she was amazed to find out that that was happening. I had to take permission from the proprietor because that was an emergency. The boy was actually, whenever he's going home, he's always scared. He said at night the uncle comes to this room and plays with him. That's a boy child. The uncle was trying to initiate him into homosexuality. We don't talk to our children about this. That is why they get abused, the boys and the girls. We just neglect them. We come out looking good. What about the child? Those children that they are the gift. Just imagine somebody gives you a wristwatch. Oh, you admire the wristwatch and wear it and sweat what it's admiration. What about your children who are a gift from God? What is your responsibility to those children? Start talking to them about sex education. How it is when they know their boundaries. Who should do this, who shouldn't do that. When they are allowed to obey it on their own. Sometimes our house helps abuse our children. You'll be amazed. When they are baiting them, they touch them. And they enjoy it. But it starts from baiting into when they are dressing, and the children just grow into it. Child abuse is real. It's happening amongst your children. If only you make that time to talk to them, they will open up to you. A lot of your kids open up to me because they cannot come to you. So I'm appealing to parents here. Don't take this for granted. Once a child is destroyed mentally, it affects them for life. They become withdrawn. They have this complex. And another thing that happens to these children that are a kind of abuse. I'm a mother, I'm a married woman. And sometimes we all have conflict with our partners. In front of these kids, you abuse your wife in front of these kids. How do you think they take it mentally? Most of them are not happy. You say words to your wife, you say words to your husband, you fight in front of these children. They grow and see what you do. Most of your children become abusers because of what they see daddy and mommy do, because you are their mentor. What are you mentoring them to do in life? Like one of the boys that opened up and spoke to his dad, the dad told him what he saw in his mom. And he said to himself, even at his age, he's going to start looking at those characters in all the girls, and until he finds that thing that his dad, someone that is hardworking, someone that can stand on her own, is what the dad told him. So that is what his values are going to be in searching for a life partner. But starting now, because they're already meeting girls. Even your children in grade 1, they have emotions in them. In class, sometimes when I'm teaching them, you see some of them, they sit together. They might be small, but they have feelings. So start teaching them how those feelings, what they mean. I've told them some of these feelings are infatuation. They don't even know the difference now. They get excited at their teenage age. They get really excited. I like this person, I like her, I can touch her. You don't have the right to touch anybody. Nobody has the right to touch you. It's okay to like someone. It's okay to have a friend that's your favorite. But touching, not now. Touching, not now. You know what? There was a time I was having a lecture with the children, the secondary children, and I said to them, when you start having relationships, you cannot handle it, don't touch. Someone actually said, well, we can't get anybody pregnant if we use a condom. That's one of your children. And if they have that mentality now, what do you think they will do? What if I'm not here? What if they don't have anyone to talk to? What happens? And most times our young boys get girls pregnant and our parents will support the boy. So it's not my child. If you had talked to that boy early enough, you would have known the right thing to do. Your drivers are risk to your children. Your helps are risk to your children. Your relations who come, spend a night, a week, a holiday, they are a risk to your children. So start talking to your children so that they can protect themselves. Whenever they see abuse in any form, they will shout, run, and tell. Instead of withdraw, keep quiet, and be afraid. Tell them, if anybody tries to touch you on your lips, your chest, your private part, shout, run, and tell. Do not hide, do not withdraw, and do not keep quiet. It is time we raise children who are confident and who can protect themselves when you are not there. Because in school, you are not there with them. A lot happens. But when we train our children, they will know what to do and stand up for themselves. So do not lose your children to the world. Let's start protecting our children from child abuse. Thank you.